Hi friends, I am Yashavant Kanetkar, and today we propose to begin with one of the very important topics in C programming, namely pointers. I am sure you have heard enough horror stories about pointers. Yes, indeed, pointers remains one of the biggest hurdle in anybody's C programming career. Any program of a reasonable length will always have some or the other form of pointers. So let's put our best foot forward and try to understand this concept. I'll begin with a very simple program wherein within main all that we do is create a variable by saying int I equal to 10. And then I wish to print the value of I. I do so by saying printf I, and naturally we should use %d to be able to get 10 printed out. Very straightforward. Let's see what happens in memory when we do this. We know that memory consists of multiple cells, in fact millions of cells. If these cells are given numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., then when I say int I equal to 10, one of these cells will get chosen. Maybe there is a cell whose number is 4080 that gets chosen. Which one will get chosen? Over that we have no control. But assuming that a location number 4080 gets chosen for I, the value 10 would get stored in it and a name I will be given to that location. So when I say print value of I %d I, value stored under location 4080, that is 10, will get printed out. As I said, we cannot exercise control over where I will be granted a location. But once it has been granted a location, you can always inquire, you can always figure out which location has been granted to it. And you can do so by asking for its address, that is 4080, which is also known as a reference or a memory location or a cell number. To me, out of these four terms, address is the one which makes most sense, for the simple reason that the place where I stay, that's my address. Similarly, the place where the variable I is storing, that is the address of the variable I. And I can print out that address by saying and I, where and that we are making use of stands for address of operator. The way you have plus, minus, star, slash as arithmetic operators, similarly and happens to be an operator whose name is address of. Address of what? Address of the operand. In this case the operand is I, hence address of I. In our case that address of I is bound to be 4080, and this being a whole number we will print it using %d. If I wish to print value of I in one more way, I can do so by saying and I, means first get me the address of I, and then I am not interested in the address, I am interested in the value present at that address. That I can obtain by saying star of and I, where star happens to be another operator known either as an indirection operator or as a value at address operator. Out of these two, value at address and indirection, to me what makes more sense is value at address. Because if and I gives you 4080, then if you treat star as indirection operator, indirection of 4080 is not very meaningful. Instead, if and I gives you 4080, then star if you take as value at address, you can say get me value at address 4080. And from the figure you can very well see value at address 4080 happens to be 10. So 10 is bound to get printed out. By the way, these and star together are often known as pointer operators. So if 10 is to be printed out, we should naturally employ %d as the format specifier. And then finally put a closing braces. So all that we have learnt here is that and is address of operator, star is value at address operator, and together they are known as pointer operators. In fact, with that we are actually done with pointers. We are through with pointers. Don't believe me? Well, that is the only thing that is to be learned. Anytime you have any problem in future about pointers, just ask yourselves two questions. First should be, what does and stand for? And second should be, what does star stand for? And whenever you ask these questions, always answer yourself very convincingly that and is address of operator and star is value at address operator. If you do that, believe me, you will not face any problem with pointers. Now let's try a few variations. Suppose I say int I equal to 10 and then I say in J store address of I. Will that be legal? Perfectly. Can I say J equal to and 23 or J equal to and I plus 34? Well, first among this is okay, whereas next two are not. The reason why next two are not okay is because you cannot take address of a constant like 23, nor can you take address of an expression like I plus 34. In other words, I can say that and can be used only with a variable, never with a constant, never with an expression. Let's look at what is the story with star. Star J you can do, star 4, 5, 6 set also you can do, star of 4, 5, 6 set plus 1 also you can do. Means star can work with a variable like J or a constant like 4, 5, 6 set or an expression like 4, 5, 6 set plus 1. So first is okay, second is also okay, third is also okay. So if I am to generalize, I can say that and can be used only with a variable, never with a constant, never with an expression. Unlike that, star can be used with a constant, a variable and an expression. Don't immediately start typing star of 4, 5, 6, 8 or star of 4, 5, 6, 8 plus 1. They would not straightway work. You'll have to do something more for them to work. What is that something more? We'll see as we go along. But as of now, understand that and can work only with a variable, whereas star can work with a variable, constant as well as an expression. So much about and star operators. Once you understand them, you are well on your way to write programs which make use of pointers. Do try to execute this program. That's the only way to grow in confidence. Goodbye and good luck for now.